For heat welds, you will need a hot air welding tool, also called a heat gun, with a pencil tip nozzle. Either a standard speed or urethane nozzle, depending on the flooring. A hand groover and spare blades. A trim knife and a trim plate. You will also need a straight edge. You should never substitute the urethane nozzle when working with a urethane finished flooring unless the nozzle manufacturer says it is safe for this type of finish. Otherwise, permanent damage to the finish will occur. Here are some tips before you start. Make sure you fully read the Welding Thread TDS so you are completely familiar with the product and process. It will contain additional information not necessarily shown or mentioned in this video. Practice on scrub material before trying this on installed flooring. DFT is not required for heat welding unless you need to complete your seams the same day. The urethane nozzle can also be used on unfinished flooring and is a way to minimize or eliminate the gloss a standard nozzle normally creates at the seams. Some of our flooring is too heavily embossed to be properly heat welded, and these are noted on our welding thread list. The following demonstration shows the use of our urethane nozzle. First, you will need to preheat the heat gun to between 750 and 800 degrees Fahrenheit. Using a straight edge positioned along the seam, groove the seam so that equal parts are taken from both sheets. The groove depth should be about 2/3 the thickness of the flooring, or half the thickness of the welding thread, whichever is less. Your goal is to maximize the welding surface area without grooving too deep. Next, insert the welding thread into the nozzle, and then press the nozzle end thread into the groove. Keeping the bottom of the nozzle parallel to the flooring, apply slight downward pressure, and move the gun along the seam at a steady speed. The speed that you move the gun will vary depending on the nozzle used, with the urethane nozzle moving slower than the standard nozzle. You can check the thread's bond by tugging or pulling on it. The thread should be securely bonded to both sheets. Make sure the thread has cooled to room temperature before proceeding. Trimming, also called skiving, is always done in 2 cuts or passes. The first pass uses a trim knife and trim plate together. The second pass uses the trim knife by itself. Make sure the thread is flush with the surface, and clean up any raised areas. Glazing is not necessary for this product's thread, and the seam is now complete. Please contact us if you have any questions.